Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you're having an amazing day. Let's get right into the stories. The first story is titled, Am I the A-hole for leaving Thanksgiving dinner at my MIL's house after I discovered that she threw out the dish I bought? I, 27F, am 5 months pregnant. I have pre-existing health issues that I manage by having a diet with no meat of any sort. This has caused me and mother-in-law to have conflicts, especially when I refuse to eat the food she makes. I used to either come and not eat anything or just stay at home. Since I'm pregnant, I could not attend Thanksgiving and not bring food with me out of respect for MIL. I cooked a small meal and brought it with me. Mother-in-law made a fuss about it, but justified it as I was making a mistake robbing her grandbaby of getting all meat benefits. I explained that I take supplements as replacement, but she shrugged and was upset. We waited till dinner table was set. Mother-in-law didn't let me help or go into the kitchen at all. She took my dish and said she'd reheat it for me and put it on the table. Yet, when I sat down, I was stunned to have discovered that she had not put my dish there. When asked publicly, she denied receiving any dish from me and started asking if I accidentally left it at home or the car. There was a huge blow-up. Mother-in-law tried to convince me to sit back down and just eat what she put on the table. I refused, but my husband insisted and told me to let it go this time. I decided to leave. I grabbed my stuff and walked out. I found out that she threw out the dish I brought and tried to get me to just eat what she put on her table. She said that she was looking out for grandbaby's health, and my husband said it wasn't worth leaving the celebration and causing a scene. We had a big argument, and his mom thinks I'm being dramatic and hard to deal with. Was I the a-hole for walking out? Info: the dish I brought was supposed to keep me full and provide me with all the benefits, so it wasn't like any of her appetizers or side dishes. I also put work into making it, and it cost me money. She keeps insisting it's about her grandbaby and her concern for their health. Comments said, not the a-hole. I've been in your shoes. Tell your husband to defend you, or you're out. Things will only get worse. She's gonna force you to raise that baby her way, and your husband is gonna let her. The gaslighting from her is especially scary. Literally tell your husband straight out that he either be 100% on your side from now on for everything, or you're leaving him. Do not put up with that. It will ruin your life, your marriage, and your kid. Another comment said, not the a-hole. That's a truly psycho and disrespectful thing for her to do. Your boyfriend is in the wrong for not having your back on this issue. You know your body and what it can handle at this time. It's not for anyone to decide but you. The next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for uninviting my sister-in-law and mother-in-law from everything, and saying that if my husband continues to pressure me, he'll also be uninvited? Not the a-hole. I am 7 months pregnant with my first child. The baby is also the first grandchild/nephew of my husband's family, which everyone is excited about. I lost my mother and father to the pandemic, being an only child, so there's not much of my family. Since the death of my parents, 1 year ago, my husband's family has welcomed me with open arms as part of them, and I have become very close to my mother-in-law and sister-in-law. I always wanted to have a gender reveal, and I trusted my sister-in-law to organize everything about this. With 3 days to go before the party, I started to receive messages from all my husband's relatives and even close friends congratulating me on my baby being a boy. I went to ask what happened. My sister-in-law confessed that she let it slip to my mother-in-law, and she told everyone the sex of the baby after knowing, because she couldn't hold it and took proportions beyond what they imagined. Nobody calls me to tell this. The party was cancelled and I was heartbroken, as well as extremely hurt by the two of them. Usually they accompanied me to the ultrasound shopping for the baby's room, and my mother-in-law would stay at the time of delivery. But after this breach of trust, I stopped inviting them and asked them to respect my boundaries when they pressured me to go. Honestly, I didn't even send them the baby shower invite because I really avoided contact with them as much as possible. Because everyone knew before me that it was a boy. My husband started complaining that I was pushing them away because of a mistake that could happen, and that I was being harsh. Yesterday he brought up this, and when I said that I still didn't feel comfortable with them, he said, soon you'll tell me that my mother won't be able to go to the birth. I think my face showed my response, and he started saying that I was being too hard on her because she was just excited and blah blah. I had my limit and said, if you keep pushing me, it won't just be your mother who won't be on my labor. So either stop or you won't come in. He started to say that I was crossing lines and that he had a right to have this moment. I was taking this with them too far. He slept on the couch and doesn't talk to me more than necessary. Am I the a-hole? Comments said, not the a-hole. My husband started complaining that I was pushing them away because of a mistake that could happen and that I was being harsh. This wasn't a mistake, this was a choice. Your sister-in-law made a choice and told mother-in-law. Mother-in-law then made a choice to tell everyone else in the family. Your husband is making the choice to pressure you into things, which is leaving you to make some choices of your own now. You are allowed to make your own choices. Nobody, not even the husband, has a right to be in the delivery room. May seem harsh, but it's true. The person going through the procedure has the choice of who gets to be in there. Birthing a child is not an all-access pass for everybody else who wants to be in there. It's not a spectacular sport, it's a medical procedure to get a little human out of another human. Another comment said, not the a-hole. Your sister-in-law slipping could have been an honest mistake. Your mother-in-law spreading it around was a concise choice. You may be going a little too far with your sister-in-law, again, possible accident, but your mother-in-law made her choice and is now dealing with the consequences. The last story is titled, Ex-Wife Tries to Frame Me for Theft. Background, at this point in the saga, having lost the custody battle, V is moving to NH to be with her then primary lover, now husband number 5. A detail that amuses me to this day is that he shares the same first name as the FB lover from CA as mentioned in my first post. I always refer to them as Paul number 1 and Paul number 2 when talking about them. Yes, I'm easily amused. The incident. About a month after the custody hearing at which I got full physical custody of Rebecca, V and I had an email exchange in which we agreed that I would go to her apartment and take Rebecca's captain's bed and some of Rebecca's belongings the day before movers arrived to pack up Voldemort's stuff. She was moving 75 miles away to central NH, having burned pretty much every bridge in the area. As Sam drives a truck, he graciously agreed to come along to both help and to be a witness. So we get there around 7:20 p.m. and knock at the door. After a brief wait, V opens the door, iPhone glued to her ear. She sullenly mumbles something about her stuff is upstairs and then heads off to her second-floor bedroom, weaving and mumbling something that made me stop and think. I didn't quite get it, but I recall thinking, I really cannot go in here at all without a witness. I stick my head out the door. Sam, come on. You need to come in with me. So, we go in. Holy crap. It's a tip. It's not quite filthy, but it's beyond cluttered. By now, V has disappeared into her room, complete with slamming the door, so it takes me a bit of wandering to find Rebecca's room. It's not just that she's in the middle of packing, but there is crap everywhere. Dust, cobwebs tracked in dirt, unwashed dishes, empty boxes of wine, dry dog food scattered and trampled underfoot. I could see that it's quite a nice place. An open living area with a balcony overlooking it, and lovely woodwork and exposed beams and insert shelves in the walls. An antique wood stove on a hearth is blazing away. Really, lots of potential. But a tip, nonetheless. So Sam and I start gathering up Rebecca's stuff and take some stuff out to the car. I realize we need an Allen wrench to take apart the bed, so I go out to the car to get one and come back in. In the lull in activity, she had come back into the living area but went right back into her bedroom as we climbed the stairs, phone still glued to her ear. It takes a bit, but we finally get the bed taken apart and have moved most of the stuff in Rebecca's room out to the front lawn. Without conferring, it's clear Sam and I both decided to get the stuff to the front lawn and worry about packing the vehicle after we're completely out of the house. It's at this point that it starts to get weird. Sam is carrying out the second to last load when V pops out of her bedroom door, looks out from the balcony and says, "Why are you taking stuff out of my house?" Sam drops what he's carrying and exits the house. I come out of Rebecca's room, and V clearly didn't realize I was still there, and say, "You agreed via email that we would take Rebecca's bed tonight." She looks startled and says, "Is that Rebecca's stuff?" "Of course it is. You said her stuff was in her room." "Fine." She goes back into her bedroom. I take what I'm carrying and go outside. Sam says, "Dude, that's not right. We need to call the police." "You're absolutely right." I could tell that Sam was expecting me to object, and he does a double take when he realized he wasn't going to have to convince me. "Crownsville Police Department, you're on a recorded line." "Yes, hi, my name is Jack Crow, and I live at 321 Main Street here in Crowsville." While I'm talking to the police on the phone, I'm aware of V coming to the door and opening it, and becoming quite agitated as she realizes I'm talking to the police. By the time I finish the following explanation, she has slammed the door and is tromping around inside the living area, heatedly talking on her phone. I'm at my ex-wife's apartment getting some of my daughter's belongings as we had agreed to via email, and while I'm getting the last of the stuff out of the house, she suddenly asks, "Why are you taking stuff out of my house?" So, in order to protect all parties, I'm asking that a police officer comes by to verify with Miss Crow that she agreed to this and that she is fine with what we have removed from the house. An officer will be right there, Mr. Crow. As I'm waiting for the officer to arrive, leaning nonchalantly against the front of Sam's truck, Sam is standing there next to me, just shaking his head. Right about here, V throws open the front door, muttering something about having not gotten all of Rebecca's stuff, and proceeds to deposit another laundry basket piled high with clothes and other items on the front stoop, and then disappears back inside. I start to whistle, "Pop goes the weasel." Most of the stuff we moved is still sitting on the front lawn. We leave it there. After about 5 minutes, the officer arrives. He steps out of the patrol SUV, and I slowly approach him, arm extended to shake his hand. "Good evening, officer. I'm Jack Crow." "Evening, Mr. Crow. Allie Johnson." We shake hands. I give him a brief explanation of the situation, and he comments that I was right to call him, and that he'll go speak to V. He's up there for about 2 minutes, and then he comes back down. "You guys are good to go." We briefly chat with him, apologizing for having to get him involved, and he replies, "No, you did the right thing. If a woman in MA says something bad about you and you've got stuff dangling between your legs, you're gonna be in trouble." I liked him a lot after that. We start loading the rest of the stuff, and he asks, "How much more is in the house?" "Nothing, it's all out here, except that last laundry basket on the stoop that Miss Crow brought out while we were waiting for you." "Oh good. I can't sit here all night. If you guys are good to go, I'll take off." "Wait, what's that?" "What's what?" "I think I saw a phone in that basket." He shines his flashlight on the laundry basket on the front stoop. I walk up to the basket. An iPhone is sitting on the top of it. I pick it up, and it looks like Rebecca's old iPhone 4. It's my daughter's old phone. I'll just take it with us. I carry the basket down to my car and put it in the back seat. Just as I'm walking away, it rings. Incoming call from V's landline. I realize it's V's phone. I pick it up and answer it. "Hello?" Click. I look at the front. There's a text from Paul number 2 on the lock screen. "Is he gone yet?" "Yep, it's her phone." "Wait, officer, I was wrong. It's Miss Crow's phone. Could you return it to her?" He takes it from me and returns it to V at the front door and walks back down to us. "Okay, you're still good to go. I'm gonna go now. If you could, swing by again in 15 to 20 minutes. If we're still here, you might want to pull in and make sure we're still okay." "Sounds good. You two take care." Not 5 minutes after he pulls out, and while we're still loading stuff, V again pops out of the front door, phone glued to her ear. "Is the officer still here?" "No." "Get him back." "Why?" "I want him back." "Get him." And back inside she goes. I'm briefly tempted to tell her, "If you want the cop back, you call for him." But that little voice in my head says, "You call." So I redial Crowsville's finest and request that Officer Johnson return to the address. Again, Sam and I assume our waiting positions at the front of the truck. This is why I didn't want Rebecca here tonight. Good call. A few minutes later, Officer Johnson arrives. "Hey, Officer Johnson. Long time no see." He grins at me. "She just came out the front door just after you left, asking for the police to be called." "I'll go see what she wants." He goes up there and V hands him her phone. He talks for a few minutes, hangs up the phone, continues speaking with V for 20 more seconds, and then returns to us. I look at him quizzically. "No worries, guys, you're still good to go. But I'm gonna stay here until you're done." I continue to give him the raised eyebrow. "She wanted to accuse you of trying to steal her phone, but I pointed out to her that I was the one to notice it in the basket you hadn't touched yet, and that you were the one to ask me to return it to her. Her boyfriend asked if you could be made to wait until Sunday, but I told him no, they've got 3 more things to load and they're out of here. Just finish up, guys. We all want to get home where it's warm." We finished up, and we all shook hands and got out of there. Thank you for watching. I would really appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We'll see you again tomorrow.